was raised in Southern California. I went to UCR, that's UC Riverside. I received a bachelor's degree in creative writing. I studied poetry and I studied fiction. I was a member of Alpha Tau Omega fraternity. What did that teach me? Well, from the poetry and the fiction, I learned how much power words have. From the fraternity, I learned how interpersonal relationships are important, and learning how to talk to people in different ways is also very advantageous to making something out of yourself and going further in life. From there, I went here, but before that, I studied book arts at UCR, and I almost went to graduate school for book arts, because I felt that, well, for one thing's for certain, I don't think people read enough, and I'm really glad for those who do. And I think that it's because of how interested I was in the way that information is dispersed in books and how people learn from books, and just learning is what really brought me to where I am now. I came to graduate school here at Claremont as a painter. I submitted a portfolio of 20 images. The majority of them were monotypes that I made while I was supposed to be working in special collections at UCR. It was then that I really decided that I needed to go to art school. I was a young child when I first started learning what art was. I had this art history book that my grandfather used to read to me from, and I just thought, wow, just that idea of being someone who makes these things that don't really make sense to me right now because I'm 6 years old, but maybe one day they will. And so I came here, and I was like, I'm here. Look at this place. This is like art school and stuff. And it was art school. It definitely was, because everyone who was here was definitely art students. Well, at least they're gone now, because they were like, I'm an art student, and they left and they were still an art student, and that's probably what they are still now. But I'm not talking shit. I'm not passing judgment. But that's what everybody's doing right now, because that's what we do. We're human beings. And we get that from bias. And where do we get bias from? We get bias from where we come from. We get biased from the moment that we start realizing that the world is existing around us and we are communicating with it and it is communicating with us. So, that is the main component of my work. My work is based on ideas. The idea is the medium. It is not exactly the paint, but it is the paint. It's not exactly the acrylic, but it is the acrylic. It's not exactly the sculpture, but it is a sculpture. It's not exactly the video, but it is. The first piece I'd like you guys to direct your attention to is the one all the way into the back. It's all the way back there. It's low. It's low. You guys think of this. What is this? This is a collaboration that I did with Tulsi Lavelle and Solomon Vu. What did we do? Well, we took pictures of people. We ran up to them, and we were paparazzi. And who were they? They were either Tom Cruise, Chloe Sevigny. They were whoever they wanted to be. And what we did was we went all the way with it. Why did we do that? Well, the thing is, you guys are here to drink free beer and free tacos, but really you're here to look at art. And what I've found is that, you know, people like to look at art, but it's such a small amount of people, and the amount of people who like to look at conceptual art is smaller than the amount of people who like to look at paintings, but the amount of people who like to look at Picasso's, Monet's, and just Thomas Kincaid's is much larger. But what do people all like to look at? People all like to look at people. We're all looking at people right now. Most of you are just looking at a person. I am looking at all of you, but I'm trying not to, because I don't really want to make eye contact because it's awkward. Why is it awkward? Because there's a disjunction in the communication between us, because we both don't know what to say to each other, and what it is basically body image. This is my body. This is me at 12 years old. My face painted like the American flag. August 13th, 1996. That is a picture of me, August 13th, 2009. What does that mean? Well, it's funny how it works out. I mean, on the right, here's me, this young Catholic conservative. On the left, here's me, this liberal progressive. Yet, what I'm really interested in is this transparency, this idea of 13 years between me and my former self. 13 years between me, 12 years old, laying in my bed, wondering what am I going to be doing when I'm where I am now? What would it be like to meet myself? I mean, what would it be like for me to meet my little self? What would it be like for my little self to meet the big me? I mean, there is no way to really make that. So that's why we have to stand at the same height. That's why it is the way it is, because we're at the same height. We're still the same person. No matter how we want to reach for the nostalgia that lies back here, but it's really just between this transparent thing that we can't grasp.